Okay, number 12, write the inequalities that represent the system of linear inequalities graphed below. So there are two inequalities, 1 and 2. And when we're writing our inequality, we want to use the idea of slope-intercept form. The difference is that instead of an equal sign, we're going to have to use an inequality symbol. So if I start with the blue guy, or purple-ish, I see that it's dashed, okay? So if it's a dashed line, I know I'm going to have to use less than or greater than. Now, if I take that line and I point my arrow and I point it up, I see that I'm shaded above that line. So if I'm above that line, I'm going to have to use a greater than symbol. So y is going to have to be greater than. That's how I determine which symbol to use. Then from there, I just find 2 points to find my y-intercept and my slope. So I see that the line is going through at -4. Okay, so that's going to be my b, my -4. And then I'm just going to pick another point where the graph goes through nicely for me, and I'm going to count my slope. So down 1, 2, and then over 1, 2, 3. I went down 2 and over 3. So my slope would be -2 over 3. I fill in my x for my slope-intercept form, and there we have it. There's my first line, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and change to red, so we're focused on the second one. I notice that this guy is a solid line, so that means I'm going to have to use less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Well, from the line, if I draw my arrow, I'm shaded below the line, so I'm going to have to use less than or equal to. So y is going to be less than or equal to, and then I do the same process. Okay, where does it go through the y-axis? Well, here's my line. It goes through, looks like here at 2, so plus 2. And then I find another coordinate on the graph where it's going through nicely for me. I see it looks like it's going through right here. Okay. I know it's kind of messy and small, but that's okay. So if I go down 1, 2, 3, 4 and over -1, okay, so I went down 4 and over -1. So I went negative in both directions. So really I'm having a positive slope of 4 over 1, or you could just put 4 plus 2. Another way, if I used the second point that I found and I counted up 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, there you can see how both of them would be positive. So you could have counted either way and gotten the correct answer. Just make sure if you get two negatives that you make your slope positive. And you can double check. This slope is going uphill from left to right. This guy, my dashed line, is going downhill from left to right, which is why I have that -2/3. All right, my next question says which graph represents the solution set of the system of inequalities. Okay, so I have two inequalities given. This first one is already in y equals mx plus b. It's solved for y. But this second equation isn't. So I'm going to solve it first. I'm going to subtract x from both sides so that I'm putting it in slope-intercept. So I'm going to end up with y is greater than or equal to -x minus 3. Now I can help figure out which of my 4 graphs is correct. Now I see here I've got a less than sign and a greater than or equal to. So I'm going to have one dashed and I'm going to have one solid line, which means I can eliminate these two choices right away because those are both solid lines. Now it looks like they're graphed a little bit differently. So I can kind of look to see, okay, this guy's going uphill from left to right, and this one's going downhill. So let's take a look at that line. They're both going through at +2 for my y-intercept. So that line would be this top one because it's going through at +2. Well, my slope is a positive number. It's a +2, so I should be going uphill. And the dashed line that's going uphill is this bottom choice right here. So that would be my answer. I don't have to do any other work. You could double check by making sure it was shaded correctly, but I'm pretty confident using some of those process of elimination techniques that that is the correct answer.